Hey guys, welcome back to Genius Recipes. I'm Trudy, and today we're making Jamaican hard food. One of the main things people love to boil up in their hard food pot is yellow yam. All right, so today we don't have yellow yam, but I'm gonna show you what we're using. It's really whatever you have, whatever hard food, whatever ground provisions you have, you can use in this dish. And it's usually had next to callaloo or some type of sauteed beans, or if you eat meat, that could be some type of meat. So this is basically in replace of rice or any other carbohydrate that you would normally have in your meal. So what we're boiling up today is our green bananas. So I have about 7 green bananas here. We're gonna boil those. I'm gonna show you how to prepare that for the pot. We're gonna use some Jamaican pumpkin, and we're also gonna use some sweet potatoes. Now, generally, if you go to the Caribbean store, you'll get a sweet potato that looks darker and usually a lot more dirtier, muddier. I choose to get the organic sweet potatoes that are Japanese, just because they generally feel a little bit more organic. But you can either get the Jamaican kinds at the Caribbean store, or you can get Japanese organic. It's pretty similar. We also have some spelt flour here we're gonna use to make some dumplings, salt, and baking powder. So if you wanna learn how to make Jamaican hard-boiled ground provisions, keep on watching.
We're gonna start by washing our vegetables. I'm using a vegetable brush to scrub my sweet potatoes, my pumpkin, and my green bananas. So slice the tops and the bottoms off each finger of banana. Then you wanna just grab each banana and slit it right down the side. And then that's gonna help the bananas boil a lot faster. Keep the skin on because it's easier to peel off after they cook. Now for the pumpkin, ease up the pumpkin seeds with your knife and then scoop them out with a spoon. To slice it, hold it upright with your fingers on the side and your thumb on the top. Slice it vertically until you've, of course, done all of them. And that's, of course, from top to bottom. So for the last piece, be careful not to chop your hands off, okay? Because that last piece could be a little tricky. All right, so we're gonna be eating our potato skins and also our pumpkin skins, actually. Now just go ahead and cut your potatoes into large chunks. All right, so to make our dumplings, we're gonna get about 1.5 cups of flour. By the way, I'm gonna leave a link in the description box to the blog post with all the instructions and ingredients for this recipe. So I'm only taking 1.5 cups of flour, and that's just because I don't wanna make too much, but feel free to double this recipe if you have a larger family or you're just feeding more people or you're just greedy. And then you're gonna add 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. Now you're just gonna use a tablespoon and of course have your cup of warm water in your other hand and just mix in the baking powder with your tablespoon and of course your flour and your salt. Just gradually mix that in and then begin to add in your warm water. You wanna do a lot of mixing with your spoon because that helps you to figure out how much water is actually being absorbed by the flour. As you start to add more water, you'll see like more broken up pieces of flour, and that is the water combining. So that's good. It's really important to do this gradually so that you don't overdo it with the water. Trust me, it's very easy to overdo it. And by the way, you're probably not gonna need this whole, 1/2 cup of water that we have here, but I just like to have more than enough. The more you start to see those little clumped flour pieces, that means the closer you're getting to actually kneading it. Now get all the flour off your spoon and start to get in there with your hands. So this is actually when we're gonna knead, you guys. As you can see, it's a bit dry, but that's good because you rather start on the drier side than wet. Now as you knead, continue to add water as needed. You'll begin to pick up the remainder flour pieces left in the bottom of the bowl, on the sides of the bowl, and you're pretty much gonna just get all the flour mixed in really well. When you start to hear that dry, sticky sound as you knead, that's when you know you're almost done kneading. And here's what our dough looks like. If you have time, let it rest for 10 minutes, but if not, that's fine. Now break off a nice chunk of dough and start to roll it out. And then you're gonna actually flatten it out into a circle shape and make a dent in the middle as you shape each piece into a flat circle. So this batch of dough should make about 5 or 6 dumplings. So, depending on how much people you're feeding, you might want to double this, like I said earlier. All right, boiling time. So make sure your water is boiling hot and then go ahead and add your food, aka your hard provisions, starting with your green bananas first. And then you're gonna add your sweet potatoes. If you're cooking yellow yam, add it at this point. Oh, and you guys, I forgot to say, make sure you add salt to your water. Anytime you're boiling anything, just add some salt. I added about a half a teaspoon of salt to help it just give some taste and help it cook faster. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes. So now it's time to add your pumpkin and your dumplings. Some people like to add their pumpkin and then wait a couple minutes and then add their dumpling, but I just find that it works this way for me to just do it into 2 portions. So my last set of things that go in are the pumpkin and the dumpling. So cook this for another 10 to 15 minutes or until your pumpkin is soft.
All right, so the hard boiled food is done cooking. It cooked for about 30 minutes or so. If you know ground provisions and boiling them, when they get out the pot, they're super hot. They're just unbearable. So instead of me doing a taste test, I'm going to show you how it looks once I cut into it so you can see the consistency of what the food should be like when it's done cooking. All right, so let's start with the green banana. So the boiled green banana is super soft. When you cut into it, you're gonna just be able to go straight in, very creamy, very consistent. Once you do have a clean cut, that means it's cooked. Same for your sweet potatoes. Once you get a clean cut, that's cooked. Now your dumplings, that's where you want to really check. So it's gonna be a little hard to cut, but dumpling cooks super fast. So it's really just about making sure that it's solid on the inside, and yep, it is. So that's cooked, and of course, the pumpkin cuts right through, so that's how you know it's cooked. So there you have it, guys. That's how you clean, prepare, and cook hard provision Jamaican style. So if you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments. If you enjoyed this video or this tutorial, don't forget to leave a big thumbs up and share this video with a friend if they're looking to eat more plant-based or just want to add some different stuff into their routine. And that's it for today, guys. See you guys next time. Bye.